That's it. That's it. That's it. Oh! I thought it was funny. Let me get on the boat real quick before we get ready to go fishing. I'm going to show you what I'm using. You guys heard me mention to you before about my last segment, what I was going to be using and when the fish are going to be biting. Well, this is the segment. All right, so we are spot on. I'm not the type of guy that says I told you so, but guys, you've been served. Okay, you've been served, so you know they're out there biting right now. All right, so let me put you on the boat. Let me get this thing situated before we get ready to push off. I'm going to show you a few things, and then we're going to catch some of these crappie. You coming? He's up there trying to see if I'm going back in the house or not. Okay, you remember I told you guys about when I produce a lot of things that I have the best. I want to show you guys, just so you know who I am, that I'm just the same as you guys. There ain't no difference. The only difference is you guys talk to me through the lens, okay? This is my tackle box. I want to show you guys my tackle box. Look at the top of it. Look at it. You see it? Okay? Dude, this thing has probably got to fall in the water for me to get rid of it. Look at the tackle box. I got a lot of stuff in there. So, but I wanted to show you guys, there ain't no difference between Cam. I'm just like everybody else, okay? But I had to show you that just so you guys would know who I am and how I roll sometimes, okay? So my tackle box has seen its best days. So that's why we have the new tackle boxes that will be coming out. Gotta have to excuse the wind. This time of the year, the weather is sporadic. You'll be on the water for an hour, 2 hours, and all of a sudden, wind will come in, rain will come in. So you gotta be prepared when you're on the water. Now, before we get into the segment, you remember last time, as I mentioned before, that we're going to be, what we're going to be using, and the crappie are definitely start biting. I said 7 to 10 days, and they've already started. Pre-spawn has already begun. Okay, this is what I'm going to be using. By the way, this will be the intro. You'll hear me say it in the video of the white ghost. Okay, let me put it up there so you guys can see it. This is my top of the line. We also have it in a Plano box. If you go on the website camscrappiehold.com, it comes in an assortment kit with 4 different types of jig heads plus 4 different types of plastics, curly tail, including my red, black, and chartreuse. Okay, which I'm going to take this out and show you guys. I want to say this to you while I'm pulling this out. I understand that you guys are skeptical. I get that. Okay, I totally get that. But I'm getting ready to show you, and I want you to look at, don't believe me, believe your own eyes. This is that red, black, and chartreuse. This is our #1 selling jig, okay? And it's a curly tail because the crappie are in the shallows, okay? You've got to get these. All you got to do is just go to camscrappiehold.com and just pick them up, and we'll ship them out there to you. And this is the hook that I'm using. I'm using a 1/16 because they are in the shallows, and I do not want that jig head. If I'm using a 1/8, it'll drop through the water column too fast. The 1/16 floats down, but it still gives me enough weight on the end so I can get up there about 10, 12, 15 yards, okay? To make sure I'm backed out on those secondary points. That's very important. 1/8 is too heavy, okay? Because it's going to fall through the water column really quick. I'm using that #2, sometimes you even see me switch to a #1 nasty bend minnow hook. I'm using the gold. If you guys prefer red, go with red. If you prefer black nickel, go with black nickel. Whatever you decide that you want to use. But I have a little bit of preference sometimes to gold, okay? So, with that being said, all you got to do is just order. Listen, that red, black, and chartreuse, this is it. We manufacture these about 3 or 4 times a week. We run about 100,000 pieces, and we're selling them. That's that red, black, and chartreuse. This is probably about 2,000 pieces right here. Okay, so listen, guys, some of those have your name on them. Let's get ready to get on the water, and let's see if we can yank some of these crappie out real soon. So get your pen and paper, get your pad and pencil so you can make sure you take notes. And if you miss it, rewind it and watch it all over again. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. You remember I told you about those trees? You remember I told you about trees? That's what you want to look for whenever you're fishing. God, dog, this is a nice crappie. This is what we're looking for, guys. This is what we're looking for. Man, let me pull you guys down so you can see this rascal. God almighty. That red, black, and chartreuse. Look at that. Let's see if I can get this rascal in here. Man, oh man, oh man. This is a 13.5-inch crappie. I got to start bringing them in the net. That white ghost. There we go. Look at that. Woo-hoo! Let me turn around. River, you're going to have to give me a little bit of room there, Chief. Let me see if I can show these guys here. Let me get myself together. I want to show you guys this rascal here. Let me see if I can turn you guys around. Guys, let me tell you this. It's time. You remember on my last segment, I mentioned to you that any day now, they're going to get ready to start. Guys, this is a female. Okay, this is a 13.5-inch crappie. I don't know if you guys can see this. And let me see if I can turn it around so I can show you that nasty bend hook and that red, black, and chartreuse. Let me see if I can show it to you. I want you guys to get a real good look at that. Guys, these hooks, once they go in, ain't no hook setting. All you got to do is just take your pole and lift your pole. That's all you have to do. Matter of fact, look at this. We're going to back out and we're going to do it all over again. That's that nasty bend hook. I'm using that 1/16, okay, with that number 2 hook on there. Look at the size of this crappie. Listen, as I mentioned to you before, let me pull out a little bit. Let me pull out. As I mentioned to you before, I'm going to practice a lot this year of catch and release, okay? So, again, my last segment that I mentioned to you guys about when you find overhang trees and branches, big boulders, and points, that's what you want to fish, okay? This guy here was, this big girl was not playing at all. Let's release her. I want you guys to see me release her because I'm not keeping this. A lot of fish this year I'm releasing. Let me see if I can let you guys see her. God almighty. Whew, let me tell you this. I do a lot of things, baby, but changing ain't one of them. I got to get me some cam hand towels too, okay? I got to get me some of those. Listen, you want to know what I'm using? I want to show you guys. This is the formal introduction of my white ghost, okay? 10+1 ball bearings. This is my cam series. This is the best crappie reel that I have. This is the sister of the blacked out titanium. You can see the EVA grips, okay? Let me show it to you so you guys can see it, as all my rods, okay? I got the dual split handles, okay? A large 4 handle, and she's carbon fiber white. Okay, this is my top of the line. This is my signature series. It doesn't get any better than this, guys. I want to make sure you guys can see me. So listen, what we're going to do, we're going to get back up there now, and we're going to see if we can have a little bit more luck. All right, so hold tight, and we're going to see if we can yank another one out. There we go. I have to compete with River when it comes to space on this boat. I guess you can call this a 2-man dog boat, okay? Because the River always has to compete with him. And listen, when you get out there for spring, remember, don't get too close to the bank because the females are going to be posted up on the secondary points, okay? So you may be sitting right on top of the big crappie. Remember that. Let me go ahead and give you the conditions. It's overcast, and we're getting a little bit of drizzle as we speak. Remember, every day at the office ain't going to be glitter and gleam, okay? The sun's not always going to shine when you're going fishing. But just because the conditions may be wrong, don't necessarily mean that the crappie aren't biting, okay? Let's get back up there. Boom. Look at that. That's how you get it up there. That's what it takes. That's what we're looking for right there, guys. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Just take your time. Don't rush. Let me pull you down a little bit so you guys can see. Take your time. The crappie are there. Take your time. That's all you have to do. Okay, we're at the front door. This is a perfect eating size crappie. Perfect eating size. Let me see if I can get myself together so I can show you guys what we got. Perfect eating size crappie. Let's see if I can turn you around. Perfect eating size crappie. That red, black, and chartreuse again. Guys, that's all I'm running. That's all I'm running. Look at that. And remember I told you about catch and release. Let me turn around so I can show you guys exactly what we're doing here. Make sure the net, didn't need the net for this rascal. It's an 11-inch crappie. This is a perfect eating size crappie. Okay, let me show them to you. They're just starting to do their thing, and it's important for you guys to take the entire family out there. And the reason why What separates my rod and reels from everybody else's is because they're accurate and they're sensitive. That's what they produce. And listen, this red, black, and chartreuse jig and that nasty bend hook, guys, it's incredible. Let's take this rascal. As a matter of fact, look, here it is right there on my sleeve. Nasty bend hook. So let's let him go. Let me let you guys see me releasing this rascal. We're going to be practicing a lot of catch and release this year. A lot. My jig, I want to make sure, matter of fact, I'm going to loosen this drag a little bit too. Not feeling real comfortable with it being that tight. I'm running 6-pound test line, but I've had some to break that. Look at that hook. Let me see if I can show you guys that nasty bend hook. You see that? Look at that. That's how it penetrates the lip of that fish, the same way. With my nasty bend hooks, guys, that assures that your catch ratio goes up 300% just by using my hooks. Okay, we're gonna land right back up there in that same spot. Let's see if we can have a little bit of luck. You guys here, I wanna give you guys a tip while I'm hung like this. I wanna tell you guys, I've seen this many a times. Whenever you get hung, don't sit there and yank on that rod like this. Don't yank on it, okay? What's easier for you to do, and I've seen a lot of guys do that, and you break your rod. Grab the string and pull the string. It's easier to replace the string than it is to replace a brand new rod, okay? I want to give you guys that tip. Let's get on up here. Let's get this rascal out of here. Let me make sure I got you guys down so you can see really good. And let me say this to you guys right now. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I am in about 1.5 feet of water. And I want to show you guys this. This is a perfect opportunity for me to show you this. Okay? Because let me back up a little bit so you guys will really be able to see me really good. Because we are in early pre-spawn, and I can smell them. I can smell the fish. People think that's a joke that you can smell them. I want to show you the color. Let me pull you down really, really good so you guys can see me real good. Okay? Matter of fact, let me put this pole right because I don't want to get hooked by that nasty bend hook. Look at the color. Look how white this crappie is. They're just starting to infiltrate the shallows. They're coming up from the deep. And that's why I mentioned to you guys, this is a perfect opportunity. That's why I mentioned to you guys to slow that jig down because the crappie are coming from deep water. Look how little this rascal is. This is about a 10-inch crappie, but he's pale white, okay? And again, we caught him off of that red, black, and chartreuse. That's what I'm using right now. But if they stop biting that, if I run across a bed that I'm catching 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I'll switch to a blue, black, and chartreuse or that candy corn. But let's let him go. I want you guys to see me let him go. Little old rascal. That's very important. Remember, slow that jig down. And I want to tell you guys this. I am in about, again, I'm in about a 1.5 feet of water. And I'm early. Okay, I know that I'm early. They're just starting to get turned on. That's a crappie. 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 Let me bend you guys down so you can see. That's a crappie. Let me tell you, guys, we're right there at the door. This is a crappie. This is what you're looking for. And they're in the shallows. Okay? Let me prerequisite my last video that I mentioned to you guys. We were running on. Matter of fact, let me turn you around a little bit. Let me turn you around. So you guys can see me. We were running on your mark at that time. Let me pull you up. There you go. We were doing it. Let me show you this rascal. Guys, this is what it's all about right here. Okay? This is what it's all about. So what we're going to do, because we're not keeping, we're releasing. Okay? We're catching and releasing. We're going to do about 95% of our fish, probably more than that, we're going to release. But this is a perfect eating size crappie. And let me mention this to you guys. As I stated before on my video, my last video, guys, it's time. It's time. Listen, the crappie are going to do the same thing every year. The only thing that changes is your schedule. If you don't get out there and catch them like you did the prior year, that means either you went too far or you went too soon. But it's all about timing, because the crappie are habitual. They're going to do the same thing every single time. You just got to be there. The crappie don't change. The fish don't change. You change, okay? And you got to get out there on that water. Don't sit on the sofa. Get out there and do it, okay? Let's get back and let's see if we can catch one more.